I deserve it.
Chad deserted me.
All right, we'll go ahead and get started with Haynes. Questions? Rod?
You're going to go into a situation where there's a sellout crowd. Do you expect the same kind of, are you preparing for the same kind of noise preparation as you had up in Colorado?
Oh, for sure. I mean, but it's always good and fun to play in sellout crowd, stuff like that. But, you know, we still got to be able to communicate and handle that atmosphere. And, you know, I think we've been doing a good job so far of making it loud during practice and whatnot. So I feel like we'll have everything handled.
Chad?
Have you talked with Coach Winkie ever about his playing days or what he went through as a player? He had a special season as well when he was playing at FSU.
Oh, yeah, every now and then. I try to meet with him like multiple times a week, you know, every day if I can. Some weeks it doesn't happen. But, you know, for the most part, we'll get in there and talk. And, you know, we'll be talking about the film, watching film. And then afterwards, you know, he's checking on me and just my personal life, and we're talking about that, and you know, I'll ask, and we'll get into stuff like that, topics as that such.
Have you ever given you any advice on maybe how to handle some of this pressure or this attention?
Oh, for sure, and I mean that's honestly that's just how he coaches as well. That's just the standard is everybody, and you know, it's not just me. It's what he expects out of Philo, Graham, Grady, Guthrie, all of them.
Alex?
You're getting into some elite company at Georgia Tech with being mentioned with Joe Hamilton and George Godsey, those kind of things. Just what does that mean to you to be mentioned with those guys, this kind of legends here at Georgia Tech?
I mean, it means a lot. You know, like you said, the legends that came through here and just, you know, getting mentioned in that category and just in the same sentence as them, it means a lot to me. But, you know, the job's not done, and if we don't finish it the right way, then you're going to be forgotten about. And, you know, it's not necessarily, you know, what I'm thinking about, but as long as we handle our business, everything will be just fine.
Haynes, just obviously you got NC State this week. Just what's caught your eye about their defense? What kind of stands out? What have you been kind of seeing on film early on?
You know, they play with anger. They run to the ball. You know, if we don't handle our business, then it's going to be a rough night. You know, they got a good atmosphere. I believe it's their homecoming too. So, you know, they're going to give us their best shot. If we're not ready for it, then, you know, we're going to struggle. But, you know, I feel like that we're doing a really good job of, you know, communicating and trying to prepare for this atmosphere and for their defense.
There's been some injuries in the secondary. What are you seeing in practice from the guys that are, you know, stepping up and taking their place?
I mean, they're definitely developing, you know, throughout this week and even throughout the whole season. And that's why we have these Devo practices. And that's why we go good on good, ones versus twos, twos versus ones, like these different scenarios to have guys develop throughout the season for times like this, because you're going to need the depth. And it's always the next guy up. You know, when stuff happens, it's the next man up, and, you know, the standard doesn't change. But so far, they've done a really good job this week of handling it and being prepared so far and, you know, playing fast.
Chad?
What have been your impressions of Dean Patterson and how he's been a playmaker for you guys this year?
I love Dean. He knows what to do. He's very savvy, smart, you know, dependable, gets open and just, you know, does his job. And he's just been consistent for us throughout this whole season. And, you know, to see him, you know, be able to make plays, getting the ball in his hand and let him show his talents, it's just fun, just seeing guys like that being able to do that.
You've had several games this year where you've had 6, 7, 8 different receivers you get the ball to. Just what does it say about the depth of this team, kind of built through recruiting and transfer portal, and kind of how much easier does that make your job as a quarterback having that many weapons to throw to?
Oh, I mean, it means a lot. And like I said, it's hard to share one ball around. But if you're able to get 6, 7, 8 guys the ball in hand and in space and let them work, it just shows that, you know, we're spreading the ball around. We're hitting them on all different kind of angles, you know, whether it's running, passing, check downs, deep shots, stuff like that. that just shows that, we're not really one-dimensional or two-dimensional. Everybody can have success with the ball in their hand, and we can hit them at any point in time.
Jen?
Do you have a favorite play in the playbook or a favorite call where your eyes kind of light up a little bit?
Touchdown.
As long as it goes for a touchdown, it doesn't
As
matter.
long as it goes for a touchdown, it doesn't matter. I don't want to say too much, and then other teams start looking at the interview. But no, for sure, a touchdown it's always my favorite.
I don't know if we got a chance to ask you, in the post game last game, but obviously, great crowd. I know obviously you're gonna be on the road, but just how fun was that? Just being able to be home and see a sellout crowd and kind of just a great atmosphere just at home, and what you, Coach Key, and everybody just created with this team and this program.
Oh, for sure, and it's not really just this team. It's the whole fans, the students. For them to come out here and have a sellout crowd like that, it was very fun. And we love the support that they're doing, and we want them to continue to do it throughout this year and for the next years upcoming.
Naturally, in this offense, blocking on the perimeter is a big part of the success you have. I imagine Dean is one of those guys that, when you talk about his intelligence and everything and knowing what to do, what have you seen there from him and, maybe some of the backups like Stockton and, guys that are getting the chance to get out there now?
Oh, for sure. And I mean, for us to be able to make plays on the perimeter, they have to, get it started and block very good on the perimeter. If they don't, then, it's a hard time making 2-3 people miss it at the same time, So far they've done a really good job of doing that and protecting each other because, if you work your butt out off, getting blocks for the other ones, coach is going to see that and you're like, okay, now we're going to try to give you the ball. You've worked for it. We're going to try to find a way to get you the ball as well. And that's what's kind of transpired throughout this whole season. Everybody working for each other, protecting each other on the edge, and like I said, just getting it started so others can make people miss and make explosive plays.
So, King, you talked about at the end of the game. Haven't played a complete game yet, which is good. You don't want to peak too early. But what do you think is the next evolution of this offense? We've seen the tight ends more involved. What do you think is that next step to get this team just clicking on all cylinders just throughout the game? I mean, guys are, but just that next step of the offense.
I guess you'd say just, take those handful of plays that we have that people either not focused or not locked in and have those like brain farts or whatever and try to limit those as much as possible. Because if we're detailed, focused, and everybody's on the same page, we're probably going to have a good chance of executing that play. But if one person mess up, it can mess up the whole play and stop it right there. And then we have a negative play, negative first down or second down play. Now you're behind the chains. So as long as we do that, then I feel like that's our next step. What we have to do, limit the brain farts and stuff like that.
Anything else for Haynes? Thanks, Haynes.
Thank you.
Bud.
See ya.